So I just bought Space Marine 2, mostly so that I could play it with my friends. And I ended up refunding it. So I figured maybe I should post my review of it since I've only seen positive reviews, and I got some negative feelings about the game. This is in no way me trying to hate on the developers or anything. It's a well-made game. But it ain't for me, and it might not be for you. So maybe I can help a few people save some money. Or maybe I can help you spend some money if you disagree with me, or maybe my review is negative to me, but it sounds good to you. Who knows? But let's get into it. So I think the main factor for me is going to be the price point. On Steam, it's $60, but on Xbox and I think PlayStation, I'll show here, it's $70. I don't know what the $10 disparity is. I thought maybe Xbox charges more or Steam, but it seems like all of them take a relatively similar cut from developers, so I don't really understand the price difference, but it's $10, so that's kind of besides the point. I'm going to be talking about that $70 price point because that's what I had to pay to access the game. So if you are like, why is he saying 70? It's because on Xbox, at least, it is 70 for whatever reason. So I went into this game expecting basically Left 4 Dead, but a Space Marine game. I've never played the first one, but I am pretty well acquainted with the Warhammer 40k lore. So I knew it, basically what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be like a Tyranid invasion, and I knew roughly what that would look like. That's about it, though. It's not that it necessarily needs to be 20 hours, 30 hours, or whatever in order to be considered a AAA game that I'll spend $70 on, but I've seen a lot of people like Moist Critical and stuff. They're talking about how the game is only 7 hours long. I've heard generally 7 to 10 hours is the average range, but I'm going to go with 7 just to kind of make my argument here. Juice, he's slowly pushing me off screen. So basically, if you are buying this game for the story, for that $70 price point, about 7 hours of gameplay, depending on difficulty, paying $10 an hour. It's kind of ridiculous. Because there's games like Terraria, Minecraft, that obviously those are huge games, but those games are $10 to $15, maybe $20. Indie games, Minecraft isn't really an indie game anymore, but indie game, you know what I mean. Indie games like that, you can get hundreds of hours, thousands of hours. Project Zomboid is $15. I have a good 300 hours in that. And I could keep going. There's so many games that'll give you a way better bang for your buck as far as amount of content. Now the story isn't the only mode, I will admit. There are 2 other modes. There's the PvP, and then there's these missions that kind of tie into the main story that you're able to do them with friends and repeat them over and over. Those were the only ones I actually got to play with friends, because we're on to my second issue. The crossplay is kind of a lie. Okay, there is crossplay, but the crossplay only works, to my knowledge, at least when I was trying, crossplay only works on the side content, the missions that you do that don't tie into the story. It doesn't work for the campaign or the PvP. Maybe it works for the campaign. I don't know if I tried that, but it definitely does not work for the PvP. So that's 1/3 of the game, and there's not much in the story, so a big chunky 1/3 of the game is unaccessible to you if your friends are on a different platform, which all of my friends are on PC. So I just couldn't play with them, and that was the whole reason I got the game. Beetlejuice, this is you have to be here. It's my fault for recording on it, like on a thing a cat could lay on. So you might see where my grievances are coming from. I spent $70 on a game, realized that the story's only 7 hours. I was like, okay, well, at least there's the other content I can play with my friends, and then I'm locked out of half of the other content, which it's a good campaign, but the issue is not the amount of time, it's the amount of money for the amount of time. I don't mind if a game is short. Totally cool. But you cannot try to get me to pay $70 for a game that's 7 hours. That feels ludicrous. And I haven't heard anybody complaining about this. Like, I just feel like you can get a lot more bang for your buck for a lot of other games. And so that's why I refunded it, honestly. Then, a little bonus here. I don't know what the company... That was kind of rude, but... I don't know what the company's history is with DLC, but the Season Pass seems sketchy. Season Passes have just generally been sketchy since the inception of them. A good example I can think of is like the Black Ops 3 Season Pass. I bought that for zombies mostly, so that I could have every zombies map. Multiplayer is cool, but I wanted all the zombie shit. It's Black Ops 3, I'm sure you understand. When the Zombies Chronicles came out, that Season Pass I paid $60 for did not matter, because Zombies Chronicles released after the Season Pass had ended or whatever. If you read the fine print, every Season Pass has an expiration date. So yes, you're paying for all future DLC, except for you're not going to get all of it most of the time. This company could be different. I can't really say for sure one way or another how the people, the devs, or it's not really the devs who make this decision, but the higher ups, I don't know how their monetization system is going to work. I don't know if it's scummy or not. I just know that season passes are generally sketchy. I don't like it. It's giving me bad vibes. Especially for a game with so little content already. For $70, and it wants you to pay more for the season pass version. It's like $90. It's not bad. It's not a bad game. I get it if you like it, and if you think it's worth the $70 and you're having the time of your life, go for it, man. I am super happy for you. But yeah, not for me. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, the melee system is incredibly simple. You might enjoy the fact that it's simple, but one button for all of melee is just not enough variety for me. Technically, it's 2 buttons. You have your attack button and you have your parry button. That is so little. Like, the 2 types of attacks you can do and there's melee and then there's shooting, but like the shooting is very it's just very third-person shooter generic. But as far as the combat, that's kind of what the melee combat, that's kind of what I was going into it for a little bit, at least, because I saw some clips of like the finishers. The melee combat is 1 button. You can either press the button or you can hold the button for a heavy attack. That's it. There's a parry. That's just, I get that they were going for like the Xbox 360 style, like golden age of being kind of simplistic, but in a good way. I think that they broke it down too much. Personally, I didn't enjoy that at all. But hey, I'm just a guy on the internet who refunded a game because I was a little bit upset. Please be respectful in the comments. I don't hate the game or the devs or Warhammer. It's a fantastic franchise. This one just didn't hit with me, and maybe it won't with you, or maybe it will. But since I've only seen positive reviews, here's my pretty negative one. See ya.